Warning. This could be the final roster. Don't watch if you don't want to. I don't know. Maybe not. I think it's maybe. I don't know. Hey everybody, I'm Jammer, and so apparently there's been this leak going around showing off the new final banner of what the Smash Ultimate, everyone is here newcomer banner thing, whatever. How the story goes is apparently a user on Snapchat posted something to his story showing off some promotional material for the final version of this poster. It was then later posted on 4chan and people started digging deeper into it. And in the width of the banner, it shows off new characters being placed within. The leak says that the Chorus Kids, Geno, Mach Rider, Ken, Isaac, Banjo-Kazooie, and Shadow will all be part of the final roster of Super Smash Bros. Now, the reason this leak is even getting any sort of credibility is the fact that the poster says that he works at some sort of signage shop that prints off promotional materials. How he backs this up is also posting a picture of a poster for the Grinch movie coming up, right? Which is random, you'd think. But it does show off some new renders we've never seen before, such as the backside of the Grinch or whatever. The point is, this shows he has access to marketing promotional materials for being the sign shop that he works for, how Bandai Namco and Nintendo could easily outsource through his company as well to then print their promotional materials. So alongside this width of a poster, it also shows off a banner as well as a recreated background of the stage and how it worked with a wraparound and stuff. All stuff that I guess could be made fake, but at the same time, it is leading to maybe be real. On the documents, there was a name scribbled out at the top. He kind of blurted out intentionally, but people on 4chan were able to figure out who he was and end up to look him up afterwards. For the sake of privacy, I obviously won't disclose his name here, but what I can tell you is they did find his LinkedIn, and they did find he does work at a print shop, and that print shop does in fact make promotional materials for marketing and stuff like that. One customer, including which Bandai Namco, which all leads to be kind of credible. Because if they're going to be printing off promotional materials for, November and beginning of December, they're going to be sending the final versions to these print shops to get ready to print them off. So anyways, now that the background of the leak kind of out of the way, let's just take it face value. Let's just look at the freaking thing. First of all, we've got how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They show off 7 newcomers here, 2 of which being Echoes. Ken and Shadow. Shadow, kind of expected by most fans and most people hoping anyways, and Ken theoretically leaked recently and also very much expected to be coming. And then of course with the newcomers we had Geno, Chorus Kid, Isaac, and Banjo-Kazooie, all characters that people have been kind of talking about and expecting and predicting and blah blah blah. Mach Rider being the only kind of new twist here that no one really has been talking about. There's been some stuff here and there, but nothing like, dude, Mach Rider's coming to the game.
An interesting thing to note is that this lineup does not contain a new Pokemon. Even though a lot of us have been predicting and thinking, okay, a new Pokemon is definitely going to happen, it always kind of happens, it makes sense to have some sort of Gen 7 representation. But it is very interesting that if this leak ends up being correct, and this is our next lineup of newcomers, it's almost a strange omission that there isn't a Pokemon. But at the same time, maybe it actually leads to the credibility of this leak. Because if Incineroar was on this list, as many people have been predicting and wanting to happen, perhaps maybe it would lead to be a more fake because then it almost just seems like a wish list of characters that people are looking forward to.
So if you take this kind of just face value, that leaves us 2 Echoes and 5 brand newcomers, which seems a little exaggerated, perhaps. But at the same time, this number of 7 characters remaining actually matches up with the blog theory that talked about how many fighter trailers we have in the blog per week, roughly 2 to 3, and how many days are left to the release of the game. It said we had roughly 6 to 8 or something like that of potential slots of new characters that need to be shown off within the blog. This kind of matches up. If this was a fake leak, the leaker could have made that just a coincidence. What I find interesting is there is so many brand newcomers and not as many Echoes. It is interesting to me that there's only 2 more Echoes left in the game, potentially, as this leak says anyways. If that's the case, maybe that's just what it is, and maybe there's more Echoes coming later down the line as paid DLC or something, but for some reason I was expecting the levels of newcomers versus Echoes to be more balanced, if not more Echoes than newcomers. But Sakurai is a madman, so if he made all these characters work, I got nothing to say. Now let's look at the poster itself and the placement of these characters, because, so from what you can tell, where the characters are placed, they actually move the other fighters around, similar to how they've done in previous directs and stuff when they updated the banner with King K. Rool. Which means they could have had a recreated background and had done perfect selection of these characters somehow, and obviously the blurring and the distortion kind of doesn't help. But some people have been pointing out that certain characters have been missing from this promotional material. They say that over in Shadow's corner over here, because that's where, the Mii fighters were, And as well as Banjo-Kazooie being over top Mii Gunner, all those Miis are now missing. If you actually look over here, we got the Mii Brawler, we got the Mii Swordsman, and you got the Mii Gunner right there. They're all kind of just in this little circle right above Mewtwo. Luigi thus has been moved over here, but where Rob went, I'm not entirely sure. I think this could still be Rob, potentially. He's such a tiny little character in this promo art, I'm not entirely sure. Anyways, moving on. When Ken was placed in, so we got Diddy Kong still on the right, but Sheik was above it. Now it looks like Sheik is down here next to Falco, and of course we got the Luigi and Rob. This looks like something crazy, but I'm pretty sure it's just a Cloud, so don't worry about it. Not Cloud the character, whatever. Isaac down here was put next to Little Mac and Lucario, putting on top of where Olimar used to be, and as well as the Mr. Saturn item. Now they've been moved over here in front of Snake, so they're still there, so everything's still lining up. Alright, let's move over to Mach Rider. He's next to the Inkling and Rosalina. We got Roy on the side. All they really did here is looks like they just kind of moved Inkling and Pikachu over to the left to make room. See how there's a gap kind of here? They kind of put Pikachu in front of Cloud instead of behind, and then shifted kind of everything over. Moving on to Geno. The Ganondorf's still lined up. Pac-Man's been moved over a little bit, and Dark Samus been moved over as well. Shulk's been moved up. This is kind of where it gets a little messy. Everyone's still kind of in their same place. We got the Zero Suit, Marth, Ness. What's interesting though is Jigglypuff has moved from way over here, down here, to all the way to up here. And I think that's because of how the Chorus Kids are placed, because they go directly where the Pokemon Trainer was previously. Charizard's still in the same place, but they moved the Pokemon Trainer over, and they moved the set of these two basically almost on top of where Wario was, thus needing to move Jigglypuff, moving her drastically as far. Now, people have kind of said when they move characters around, they don't move them as far as they did with Jigglypuff here. That could lead this to being fake, maybe, but at the same time, it's just one simple thing, right? What I find interesting is the leaker, when they showed off pictures of the Grinch and stuff, they were pretty still high quality images. While with this Smash render, it was like, why is it like taken with a potato? All these new poses and positions and for these characters and stuff look brand new and relatively real. However, if they were made fake, a great way to kind of make the art styles blend a lot better is by making this entire image blurry, sectionalizing it by cutting it in the middle, you know. Oh, my collar has been like this the whole freaking time. But the image we've had to work with has been that tiny little sliver of a banner on the piece of paper that had been blown up, and that's all we got here. So whether I think this is real or not, well, first of all, the list of newcomers that they have presented here are all characters that have been kind of expected, as well as leaked throughout other previous stuff. The number of characters shown off also kind of matches up with the blog post. And just the nature of how this leak has come out is a very interesting one. It isn't just some dude on 4chan posting,
"Dude, Smash leak. Trust me, my dad works at GameCube."
How it was posted on Snapchat and then apparently on a Discord server, which then was posted on 4chan. It's just got a weird way of how it was posting. And now that people have, looked up the dude who might have done this and the LinkedIn page and blah, 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 this potentially could be real. I know having Grinch promo art sounds so ridiculous and like, how is that backing up anything? But just proving that this person does have access to other promotional materials because they are a signage shop, because they have unique renders for that new movie coming up, that haven't been shown off really anywhere, kind of proves at least that validity, but obviously this could still be anything. As far as my final verdict, I think it's very likely that this could be real, because it matches up with a lot of things we've been expecting. How they handled the banner and how things have been moved around it seems very likely to how it could be in the final thing. And having a character like Mach Rider, which had previously been talked about like years ago for maybe being in Melee, never really happening, it seems random enough, but it also seems like likely enough at the same time. I rate this leak a hard maybe. Yeah, we're rating leaks now. I think it's very likely this could be real. A lot of things are lining up. Initially, upon first conception, I'm like, not sure. This just looks like they kind of blurred it out intentionally. Now that I read into the story a little bit, I'm like, okay, this may be. I don't know. What do you guys think, though? Do you think this banner could have any validity? Do you think this guy actually has I mean, we'll see probably in the next few hours, honestly, if this dude gets fired or whatever. But let me know in the comments, what do you guys think about this leak? Do you think this is our final roster? Are you disappointed? Are you happy? Or are you just upset that you got spoiled? Because even if you did get spoiled, I feel like these are a lot of characters we kind of expected anyways, but whatever. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a big awesome like, and if you haven't already, definitely subscribe for tons more on Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and other Nintendo Switch content. I got another video lined up that was supposed to be up today. I ended up doing this instead. So look forward to that in the next couple days. Thanks again, guys, so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya!